So right now we're at Bebble Rock Studio in Kingston, Jamaica with the artist Kabaka Pyramid. Thanks for joining us here on Babylon Burning.
Yeah man, no problem. Give thanks. Huh?
Alright, I always like to start at the very beginning. I'd like to know where you were born and what life was like for you growing up.
Well, I was born in Kingston, Jamaica. Used to live in Garvey Mead, Portmore, till I was about 3. Obviously don't remember much about that. Came up to Papi inside University Crescent, both mother and father, grew up in a good home, me and my bigger brother. Went to Mona Prep, got a good education, and then went to Campion High School. If you don't know, them have Campion as like the best high school in Jamaica, quote unquote. So, we give thanks for them things that our parents could afford for provide the best for we as a youth and thing, and we just try to make the best of it, Till about 5th form, maybe them time, them start really get involved with music, 4th, 5th form, and me and my brethren, them would have a big crew in a high school, Bomb Squad crew, which later became Bebble Team.
Okay.
Which, when we formed the label, we call it Bebble Rock, so we did do like some early albums and things, some real underground thing, a lot of dancehall, a lot of hip hop. Our house was actually the studio. My brother was like the mastermind, the producer, and ones like Massacre and T-Dat and the whole of them, man, they did debut. Rest in peace to Taiwo Rap Brown. The man that was like the head of the thing them time in terms of a Jamaican rapper. The man that did have a lot of respect in the hip hop community a yard and thing, and him showed me a lot stuff. The man that passed in '07 still. And it's actually, there was like a little break between them early times around, I'm talking about around 2002. And there was kind of a little break after our first couple of albums and thing for a couple of years when me and my brother went to the States to go to school and thing. And it's actually when Taiwo passed in '07 that it was around the same time me and my brother came back to Jamaica, and then we kind of firmed back up the link with Bebble Team, and we did another album right here out of this studio. So, this studio built up basically out of that energy and out of that strength. And, same Massacre, T-Dat, Sauce, Grabber Smalls, Roxy, a whole heap of it was on the album. And, we just get back our energy and a drive towards the music, And the whole time, I always working on my craft. I always, making beats, recording myself, learning the different programs and trying to get better, Whether it's hip-hop or reggae. A lot of people have it say, me is a rapper where just start doing reggae now, but me I do reggae from 2002.
Okay.
If you listen to my first album, you hear me a DJ. It not gonna sound anything like how it is now, but we go through stages of development and, evolution with it still.
I was going to ask about that because when I first heard of Bebble Rock, I was under the impression it was more like a Jamaican hip hop thing.
Okay.
But then when I got I think it was Free From Chains EP, and it's much more reggae, or what my idea of dancehall reggae music.
Yeah.
Even though there's still hip hop elements in the production still.
Yeah, man, definitely. It's with the music that I create is based on what I'm influenced by, which has mainly been reggae and hip hop. So in the 90s when cable TV come to Jamaica, it's like them time I got exposed to hip hop, like about 96, 97, and I was listening a lot of, Puff Daddy and them and the Yes, cause that was the main thing on the TV. But I get into man like Wu-Tang, Nas, Cannabis, Big Pun. A lot of them things that were listening hard as youths and thing, and it's like, as well, you don't know, reggae always there. Sizzla was a major influence on me, just in terms of Rastafari and my spirituality and thing, him kind of led me towards that, because, but I should have mentioned, like, I grew up in the church, with my parents and thing, and it's like, after a while, listening certain music, you start to question things, And that was a major turning point for me around the same time, 2002, when I started really doing music. So you find out with the EP, you find that blend, Cause I love hip hop beats and hip hop production, the bounce that the hip hop drum loops them have and thing. So I add the reggae instrumentation and the roots kind of sound. We do a lot of sampling of old reggae and kind of bring them back. It have that old analog sound where it's hard to get, you know. So we do a lot of, just like how hip hop do a lot of sampling, we do a lot of sampling with the reggae, with the fusion sound. So, and even my lyrics, I kind of try go about writing my lyrics like how a hip hop artist would go about it. You know, which a lot of Jamaicans doing now still, cause a lot of we influenced by it. You know, the Assassins, the Cartels, you can hear the hip hop in the flow, Idonia and them, so, you know, it's a similar thing, but I just come from a more conscious perspective, you know, but it's still very lyrical and, you know, you have the syllables and the metaphors and the similes and, you know. One of my favorite hip hop artists name is Common. And Common is a man where every line is something to think about. Every line have like a double meaning or three meaning in the one line. So we try the things like that. Even in the song, the Reggaeville rhythm with Sarah Lugo. You know, it's Common. I was listening before I wrote that verse there. So, you know, a lot of things where saying it, you know, try to stay grounded even when I got to fly away, you know. Them kind of thing there's things I'm gonna get from like Common and them and we pick up from them and so, you know, it's all a mix up, it's a fusion, it's a blend, just to create that effect and that sound. You know?
Yeah, well, I think the sound definitely, for me, hearing that EP, it wasn't just the vocals, but the rhythms as well. I mean, in Jamaica, the studio system in Jamaica puts out juggling rhythms, dancehall and reggae rhythms, but these rhythms were different, like rhythms that we hadn't heard before.
Exactly.
With a different sort of production aesthetic. Who actually built those rhythms? Did you do that, or you worked with?
I did about 4 of them. 3 of them was from Zinc Fence, which you might know, Chronics.
Yep.
Yeah, Chronics and Teflon built about 3 of them. You know, some other young producers like LP and King Biggs. And also this producer from Cali who made the hip hop version of Prophecy named Paycheck. So yeah, we had a blend of, you know, artists like producers within the link making original rhythms. You know, if I put out a project, we try to use original music. You know,
it's an interesting approach to me, like, because 99% of Jamaican artists are going to studios and producers looking to voice, but you've done your own thing from the start.
From the start. You know, I've never been the type to be hanging around at people's studio. You know, I've always, you know, had our own studio. I always learned how to voice myself. You know, you go through the different programs, them Nuendo, Pro Tools, Logic. You know, once you know one, you can know all of them. You know, and right now I'm using Ableton Live to do a lot of my stuff, and it's very good for sampling and production and things. But I record my vocals and everything in it. So, you know, it's easier for me that way. I'm much more comfortable. You know, I feel like I don't have nothing to prove that way. You know, and there's, you know, to be honest, there's a lot of pressure with having to go to them studio there and dealing with people, personalities and egos and all of them things. So we just try to cut that out. You know, I'm doing a lot of work with producers from different countries now. Some German producers, Austrian. You know, them send me the rhythm and we just record it here, send them back the vocals, you know, and just keep it like that. You know. But I'm definitely open to working with local producers. You know, I did a song with Equinox, you know, music the other day, King Kabaka. And yeah, doing decent. It got some airplay and thing, which, you know, that's the one, you know, pitfall with working, you know, with yourself in terms of production. Cause you work with these big producers, them already have ins with the selectors and things. So from them send them a thing, it out there, you know. But we, you know, who don't really have a name like that, it's harder to get, you know. So I have a few DJs and ZJs we kind of work with and just love the music, you know. So hopefully that spread and increase through the years, you know.
I want to ask you about your position in the music as a Rasta artist, because since we've been in Jamaica on this trip, we've actually had a few people speak of a new generation of Rasta artists, and the names they've mentioned is like Jar 9 and Protege, Chronics, and yourself.
Yes,
what do you think about that sort of, you know, being hailed as a new generation of Rasta artists?
Trust me, it's a joy to just be included, you know, with them ones that still, you know. It's definitely a privilege, I see it, because the ones them serious about their music. You know, sometimes I feel like, you know, like I need to keep up with them ones there, because you know it's all people who bleed music and live music too. You know, it's just recently I kind of get into the live music thing. You know, but it's something I love and I see it necessary. So the Rasta movement is parallel with the live music movement. You know, a lot of the ones them citing up His Majesty now, and we love them thing there. You know, and you know, speaking of His Majesty and his teachings and thing and Rastafari, and it's a necessary thing, because it's like it's a similar thing to what was happening in the early stages of reggae. You know, with the Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, the whole of them, the Wailers, and there was an uprising at that time, and it's like 30 years later it kind of repeating itself now, 30, 40 years later. So it's like we just give thanks and know say some serious artists they both them have lyrics, them have things to say, they're doing original productions, you know, and it's a joy to see ones going on tour now and really getting to expose people to the music and experience what it is like to really do this thing. You know?
So you just got back from Europe, I believe. You did a tour there. Is that the
Yes.
first Europe tour you've done?
Definitely, yes. First tour. You know, Ready for the Road tour. Link up with our brethren in Malte, who from Starline Sound in Germany. You know, good youth. You know, great experience. I was there for 6 weeks. The manager was with me for 3 of the 6 weeks, and did shows in Germany. Most of them were in Germany, a couple in Austria, one in Switzerland, one in France, and one in Netherlands. And it was a great experience. You know, there were some shows that were, boy, just crazy. You know, people love the music and tune a pull up and beer vibes. You know, some of the performance and people kind of just get in for no one. See, true me is a man who have lyrics. You tend to experience the thing where people kind of just listening and say, oh, when, you know, really preen where I say, you know, so get a lot of that too. Yeah. So I give thanks for that, because I want the people to listen to me. I say, I don't really just want people just for forward, just for no reason.
It's more than a punchline.
Exactly, it's more than just a punchline, you know. So it was a great experience, man, trust me.
So what do you have in store for the near future?
I just brainstorming the album right now. That's the main thing I want to focus on over the next few months. You know, as well as we want to release some more videos. Because we're not finished promoting the EP as yet. You know, definitely want to do a video for Ready for the Road and a couple others. I have a single where I want to release, which is going to be the first Bebble single since the EP. But I've had some other singles, opportunities to work with Oneness Records, Air Vibrations, you know, Weedy G, the song with Corner Door, and you know, other producers. So I'm gonna give thanks, and we're just going to keep doing that. You know, a lot of music getting done right now. You know, a lot of songs I have putting down and sit down and just waiting on producers to put them out, and you know, selecting ones for the album and things like that. So yeah, I don't know what's the timeline on the album, but you know, that is it for now. Go and focus on doing some shows here in Jamaica. You know, we don't know when is the next tour. Hopefully we'll go to London in September. But we're not sure about that yet. We just have to see how it goes, you know.
One other thing I wanted to ask you about is the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
Because here say you're a whiz on the Rubik's Cube. I saw a video on YouTube, you're doing it while you're rapping.
While I'm rapping, yeah man. When I was in Orlando, you teach me how to do it, you know. But it's a simple thing to learn still, you know. But yeah man, it's a thing that I love to play around with. I remember Janine did go foreign and she loved challenge people, you know. So Janine said she buy a 5x5 Rubik's Cube for me. I'm gonna take about a couple hours and solve it and show her, and she couldn't believe. But yeah man, it's a vibes, you know. Love them things that will challenge the mind, you know.
Yeah. That's the other thing I was going to ask you about. The lyric in one song, I used to smoke the weed a lot, and then I started to read a lot.
Read a lot, yes I. Yeah, but the funny thing about that is I never used to like reading as a child, you know. Mother had a whole bookshelf full of books, and I would have start one and just lose interest, and it's like I realized them books they wasn't really tap into what I was seeking, you know. But now I read a lot of books for, you know, directly about spirituality, you know, ancient cultures and things like that, and them things they really intrigue me, you know. So I find myself reading a lot of them things there. I used to burn a lot of herbs still, you know, but about 6 years ago I decided that was enough, you know. So, and that allowed me a lot more time to go deeper into the reading, and you know, things like yoga and all of them things, Tai Chi, I try to get involved and, you know, straighten up the diet and thing, and you know. So yeah man, I just said that.
Alright, so to wrap things up, do you have a message you'd like to pass on to the people back in Australia listening to this?
Yeah man, we just I say keep it positive, you know. This consciousness is increasing right now, so just look in, don't look outside for any knowledge. Everything is within. You know, even the nature teaches us everything that's within. And you know, learn to look through the eyes of the heart rather than even the physical eyes, because your heart teaches you everything. You know, observe the animals, observe the trees, everything is out there, you know. So, yeah man, that's what I say.
One last question I forgot. Where did you get the name Kabaka Pyramid?
You know, I got it online, Googling. I was searching for African name, and I saw that name, it means king in Uganda. So in Uganda, yeah, they would call their king Kabaka, just like how we say king whatever, they would say Kabaka, whatever, you know. So it's just a fiery name I kind of did speak out to me, you know. I'm just adapt it and say, yeah, need that one, yeah. So, you know, and the pyramid represents, you know, everything, the height of spirituality, you know, in Africa and other cultures too, who, you know, used to build pyramids. So it's in terms of the music, it's a long-lasting music, you know. We want it to stand the test of time, just like the pyramids, you know.
Alright.
So that's it.
Alright, Kabaka Pyramid, give thanks for joining us here on PBS.
Yeah man, bless the love.